Welcome back, nature enthusiasts and potential new backpackers. Today we're going to be talking about an exciting topic and dive into the world of backcountry camping gear for beginners. If you've ever wanted to experience the immense beauty of the great outdoors, leave the hustle and bustle in the city, and become immersed in nature, then you have come to the right place. My name's Dan, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the essential gear that you'll need to get started. Before you head out into the wilderness, it's important to have the right gear to ensure a safe and enjoyable experience. Now, of course, this isn't a list that you may find what's most important, and it's also not listed in any specific order. As a beginner, it's more important to actually get out there instead of min-maxing your gear before you ever start. It takes years to evaluate and implement a system that's perfect for you. Now let's take a look at the essential gear that you will need as a beginner backcountry camper. First things first, you're going to need a sturdy backpack to carry all of your gear. Look for a backpack that has adjustable shoulder straps, strong and sturdy hip straps, and has proper weight distribution. It's important to choose one that fits you well and has enough space to hold all your essentials. Starting off with my main backpack, I have the Teton Explorer 4000. It's a 65-liter bag and cost me just over $100 Canadian. I will say, it is a perfect bag for beginners who want to get their toes wet with this hobby. It's not too expensive, it's very durable, and it fits everything you need for a couple of nights. It has very thick hip straps, a very sturdy internal frame, lots of room. It comes with a rain cover and also an insert for your bladder pack. Like most backcountry camping backpacks, it has a compartment in the bottom for your sleeping bag, multiple pockets on the outside, plenty of loops to hang stuff off of, and most parts have cinch straps so you can strap your stuff down and have everything more compact. If you plan on using a canoe, you should invest in a dry bag like this. This is actually the cheapest one I found on Amazon. It does not have an internal frame, there is no padding at all, and these straps are pretty uncomfortable. It keeps everything dry, and most of your portages will only be a couple hundred meters, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Lastly, if you plan on only spending one night, or maybe even only having a day trip, you can take something that's extra lightweight, like this bag. As you can see, it's very lightweight. There's no internal frame. There's no padding on it, but it holds just enough for a day trip and it won't cause you too many issues, as long as you're not hiking for days on end. A bag like this you can buy on Amazon for around $20 or $30, and you're always going to have use for it, so you might as well. To stay warm and comfortable during the night, invest in a quality sleeping bag that's going to suit the intended weather and temperature range. You might want to experiment here. Do you think you'd feel comfortable in a mummy sleeping bag? Or maybe a quilt is a better option for you. For me, I saw no other option than a mummy-style sleeping bag. I wasn't looking to break the bank with this purchase, so I bought the Teton Sports Trailhead sleeping bag. This is a great option for beginners looking to camp in the warmer weather. Don't take this sleeping bag in cold weather. You can learn more about that in a video that I'll link later. A sleeping pad can make or break your trip. It provides insulation and cushioning. On a long backpacking trip, the last thing you want is to sleep somewhere uncomfortable. For this, I would suggest getting the exact same sleeping pad that I have. It's ultra light, reasonably priced, and it has a decent R value. It's the Climate Static V insulated light sleeping pad. This sleeping pad kept me extra warm even in the dead of winter. Minus 15, no problem. I prefer this pad because I'm a side sleeper and this design is crucial for people like me. I have video reviews of the sleeping bag and the sleeping pad that I'll link both here and in the video description. There I go into way more detail and it's everything you'll need to know. If you think this is a hobby that you're gonna really love and get into, I would suggest spending a little bit more money, as sleep is very important. A reliable shelter is crucial for the protection from the harsh weather you may endure, and also for a wonderful night's rest. Look for lightweight and something that can withstand different weather conditions. Consider the size based on the number of people camping with you, and ensure it provides good ventilation. This is key, as changing temperatures will result in condensation building up inside your tent. Lots of people say bring a tent pad with you, but to be honest with you, I've never brought one. I've had my tent for almost 4 years now, and I've had no issues at all. The tent I use is a Rio Ren 2 to 3 person double layer tent. It's a knockoff brand, but it works well. I originally bought this tent because of its price and the fact that relative to anything you can find at Canadian Tire or similar stores, it was pretty lightweight. It's a double layer tent, so it holds in the heat better than a single layer tent. It also has a snow skirt, which allows this to be used in the winter. Not very ideally. This tent comes in just over 5 pounds, and I've been really happy with it, even as a beginner. One thing I wish this tent did differently is the poles. You have to slide these into a sleeve. If they were just a clip-on like this, it would be much better. There are hundreds of knockoff tents like this one. Search for good video reviews on the ones you like and try it out. Or, you can't really go wrong if you just pick a tent from Big Agnes, MSR, Marmot. All of them create really great tents, and I'm sure you'll be happy with it. Eating well in the backcountry is essential, and a good cooking kit is key. This is very easy. Look for lightweight and compact options that are easy to use. 90% of the cooking that I do on these trips is with an open fire, so I don't worry too much about the butane stove I have. I literally just purchased the cheapest stove I could find at an army surplus store, and I only use it when I need to boil water fast. There are great options on Amazon. Some are very cost effective, and some are just astronomical. I'll leave the stove for you to decide on. As for cooking gear, I went with something I found at Canadian Tire. This is from a company called Woods. It's all compact in this little bag here, and it has everything I need. It comes with 2 pots, a pan, 2 cups, and a removable pot handle. Alternatively, for different trips, I have some other gear that I bring. It all depends on what exactly I'm going to be cooking. Just look for lightweight and durable. You don't want something too thin that when it touches hot coals or even an open flame that it starts to warp. I've had that happen before, don't want to happen again. If you are just going to be eating dehydrated meals, you might want to invest into a jet boil. I personally haven't, I don't think I will, but it's something you might want to look into. For water purifying, it's essential to get something that's reliable. Initially, I purchased the Sawyer Mini, and to be fair, it worked really well. I've had it for about 2 or 3 years now, and I never had too many issues. However, on one of my longer 5-day trips, I noticed that I spent most of my time filtering water. I dealt with it long enough, so before my last trip, I went out and purchased the Platypus Gravity Works system. This is still in the box because I actually had to return the old one. Interesting story, as soon as I got to my campsite and tested out the system, there was a giant hole in it. Not really the greatest thing you want, but we made it work. I have a video that explains the Sawyer Mini in greater detail and why it's good for beginners. However, I'm at this stage now where I wanted to upgrade, so I got this new system. With the Sawyer Mini, it took a few minutes just to get a liter, which is not too bad if you think about its weight and its price range. But like I said, I'm at the point now where I wanted to upgrade, so this gravity system allows for about 1 liter per 40 seconds. There's no squeezing, there's no pushing or anything. You fill up the dirty bag and the water filters through gravity. It's pretty amazing. For beginners, you can also use iodine tablets. This is what I started off using, but I really didn't like the taste, so I upgraded to the Sawyer Mini. That was pretty good. I used that for a long time, like I said, a couple of years, but now I'm on to my 3rd water filtration system, and I don't think I'm going to be changing it anytime soon. Dressing appropriately for the outdoors is crucial. Pack moisture wicking and quick drying clothes, including base layers, insulating layers, and a waterproof jacket. Remember to pack extra socks and a hat to protect yourself from the elements. When your socks get wet or dirty, it will make your feet very uncomfortable, so a good pair of socks with a couple extra are crucial. I'd go with merino wool socks if you can. They last much longer and they won't be as stinky. When venturing off into the backcountry, having a proper navigation system is crucial. A topographic map, compass, and a GPS device are essential for keeping track of your location and planning route. Familiarize yourself with their use before your trip. Even when I'm going to the same area I've camped to before, I always bring a map. You just never know what's going to happen. Now, lighting isn't entirely crucial, however, it'll make your nights a lot easier. Initially, I purchased a headlamp at an army surplus store. I paid like $3 for it, and I hated using it every time. Investing even $20 to $30 on a good headlamp is going to save you the stress and anxiety that I once had. No, but seriously, $25, it's way more worth it. I'll show you it right here. It is nice out here. Safety should always be your priority. Pack a well-stocked first aid kit that includes essentials like bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any necessary personal medications. I always stuff mine with a little fire starter like dryer lint, and I always add hand warmers. You have no idea how much hand warmers can save your life. Make sure you have items where you can create a sling or a brace or anything in case you break an ankle. That's a very common injury. Other than that, as long as your first aid kit is stocked, you're good to go. These are just some of the essential items you'll need for your backcountry camping adventure. Of course, there are plenty of other things like knives, multi-tools, tarps, ropes, fire starting, all these different kinds of gears, but these can be optional or situational. I just wanted to go over the very basics for beginners, and I'll dive all into this other gear in another video. Remember to do your research, consider the weather conditions, and pack accordingly. And there you have it, folks. Backcountry camping can be an amazing experience and allow you to connect to nature on a much deeper level. Grab any of the gear that you have and just get out there. Just remember to be prepared, respect the environment, and embrace the adventure. So grab your gear and start planning your next backcountry camping trip today. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm more than happy to help out. Click this video up here if you want to see me take most of my gear on a long 5-day adventure. Or click the video here where you can see the mistakes I made when first purchasing my backcountry gear. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you on the trails.